Hello, hello, and thank you for joining us on Unleashed with Kimberly, a conversation for insight and intelligence. I'm your host, Kimberly Anderson, and I am so excited. We are wrapping up the Goddess Docu-Series, and I have amazing ladies with me that are part of the Goddess platform. You heard their stories on the Unleash Your Inner Goddess virtual summit, talking about overcoming limiting beliefs, obstacles, and traumas in their life. And here they are live, sharing more about what they do and their brilliance. I'm so excited. Let me bring them on and introduce to you. We have Virginia Earl joining us, Dr. Shelia Craig Whiteman, and Dr. Nephetina Serrano. I am so excited, ladies, that you're here with me today. Thank you. Yay! So let's just kind of jump in and do a roundtable kind of thing and share about what it is that you do. So Virginia, you are right here to this side. So let's start with you, if you don't mind going first. Share about what it is that you do.
So I'm Virginia Earl, and I have two businesses. One of them is called Seven Mystic Rings, which is a spiritual business, and Translations Unlimited South America, which specializes in writing, editing, and translating. And we translate anything in print, digital content, as well as books from English to Middle Eastern, European, South American, and Asian languages. So Seven Mystic Rings is a spiritual business where we focus on any blockages that you might be experiencing in this lifetime, whether it's in your business, in your relationships, in your finances, in your career, and how to manage those blockages so you can move forward. So in regards to Translations Limited South America, aside from the writing, editing, and translating, I kind of fuse one side of both businesses together to help authors who are experiencing writer's block, and how do we unveil their heart on the page so that they can identify those catalyst moments in their lives where their lives shifted 360 degrees. So a lot of times as writers, we go through writer's block, and it's important to get, especially if you're writing an autobiography, how do we get to those moments that we want to write about, so that we can not only heal ourselves but help the readers heal as well. So it's a journey for not only for the writer but also for the reader, and to change someone's life, to save a life. Our stories matter, and the world needs to hear our stories.
Absolutely. I love that. Thank you. Thank you. Dr. Shelia.
Well, hello, everyone. I am, Shelia Craig Whiteman. I have a doctorate in physical therapy, hence the Dr. Shelia. But I am a physical therapist. I have been specializing in lymphedema therapy and also pelvic health. So what I do now, I have switched from doing outpatient physical therapy to becoming a health coach. And my health coaching is very specific. What I do is I help women, primarily women, to reduce and eliminate their urinary incontinence or bladder leaks. I have an online program, 8 weeks, and by that time, really all of the clients that I've had so far have reduced, a lot have eliminated their bladder leaks. So I have just been very passionate about that. It is a problem that so many women have, but they don't quite seek help for it because you don't know where to go. Right. So I have been trying to get the word out. It is not something that is inevitable as you age, et cetera, all those myths that I have heard throughout the years. So that is kind of my passion at this time, is to reach as many women as I possibly can, to help them to not be embarrassed and just to live their life fully and not have to think about their bladder.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
No more sneezing and crossing the legs, right?
There you go. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. I've written 2 books on the subject. Just goes to show how crazy I'm about the subject. So I've written 2 books on the subject because I want to make sure you know. And yeah, they're both back over there. But and you can get a free copy. We'll talk about that later on in the show. And that is about it. Also, I have a television show, so I'm a television host also. So I do topics on health and wellness. I do stick a little bit of pelvic health in there. As I said, I'm, really passionate about that. But we talk about spiritual health, mental health, whatever is lacking in all of us that we can work to just be happy, at peace, and live our best life. So that's me in a nutshell.
And it's awesome. And it's such a needed conversation too, because you're right. It's
very
not out there. So.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it's the silent epidemic. That doesn't kill you, but it's a silent epidemic. If I don't talk about it, if people know what I do, they're like, oh, can I ask you a question? But other than that, no, you will not hear anybody talking about it openly, except for maybe me. And some of my, colleagues will be talking about it openly. But other than that, no.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Nephetina.
Well, hello and good evening, everyone. I am Dr. Nephetina Serrano, the relationship expert, and my husband and I, we work both in ministry and in life together. We've been married for over 32 years. And what I do is I'm a counselor. I am a certified coach, life coach. I encourage, uplift, and inspire women to rise up and be their authentic selves, to be who they were created to be in this earth. But my husband and I together, we support you, those that are in relationships, both married and courting, to be able to live in this life together. We help you to have balance and stability in your relationships and in your marriage through biblical principles, just helping you to achieve that oneness through effective communication, both in life and in business. My husband and I have a television show, Your Marriage Matters, and it comes on live in Dominion Television in over 35 countries. We have a podcast, Your Marriage Matters. And you can go and Google us. We're on YouTube, and we just, we've been doing this relationship thing for over 32 years, and we really just liken ourselves as midwives to couples. We walk alongside you in this journey, letting you know that you are not alone. And we have a 24-hour hotline for couples and families in crisis. It is called Covenant Rescue 911. And we support, we have counselors available to support you and whatever you're going through, with the current pandemic that has happened to us all in the past year and a half. It has been really, really crazy. So we want you to know that you're not alone. Yes, we go through trials and tribulations. We've all had a lot of loss. I'm sure every household has been touched by this pandemic. And so we want you to know that there is help, there is support, you're not alone, and we're there to walk alongside you and to help guide you into your success and happiness within your relationship.
I love it. It's such an important sector, if you will, to have those conversations, because they don't teach you how to have a great relationship in school. They don't teach you how to have great communication. And so we wind up as adults going, what in the hell is going on in my relationship, And so we need people to be able to turn to. And I absolutely love that you have a 911 rescue conversation to get in contact with you and be able to walk through it with people side by side.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, we also have a book. Our book is called The Marriage Corporation. It's corporate strategies for fulfilling God's purpose in a covenant marriage. And our magazine, Marriage CEO Magazine. So, there is ways that you can always get help, right? And there's avenues and outlets out there. And I just encourage you to use them. It's important to reach out and get the help that you need at the time that you need it.
Amen to that. Absolutely. And there's so many resources. Oh my gosh. So let's start talking about some stuff. Let's go around and again, jump in if you ladies feel so inclined. Knowing your history, knowing your background, what you've gone through, whatever it may have been, because all of your stories are different, how do you think that's helped you in your business and in your careers? Virginia, you want to start? You're like right here. Or not.
I'm
I
like
can have
right
anyone
here.
jump in.
So my experiences. My experiences have helped me in a sense that I've learned through watching my parents as I grew up in South America, that you always keep moving forward no matter what. You never stop. That not only that, but you have to have goals. And if the goals are not there, then you're going to feel ungrounded. You're going to feel flighty and without purpose. So it's very important that you know what your goals are and where you're going in life. Otherwise, it's like you're going to feel like you're a leaf in the wind with no destination. And what I've learned, and one of the biggest lessons in the past 7 years since my husband passed away, was that there's that little voice within us that has no words, and we really need to pay attention to it. And by that little voice within us that has no words, I mean it's our inner intuition, our inner knowing that when something's not right, we can't necessarily always make it right and make it work. So we need to move on and to identify the warning signals when something that's not going to be right. Know that, accept it, and put our egos aside. So that's one thing that I didn't do, and I wish I would have listened to that inner voice. And this was, again, it would have happened 7 years ago, and because I didn't listen to that gut feeling, that inner knowing, a series of things happened right after that, and I cannot emphasize enough. When something doesn't feel right, it's for a reason. So put your ego aside and turn the page over and move forward.
Yeah, absolutely. You know me, I'm a big advocate of listening to your intuition, especially as women, because we second, third, fourth guess it.
Did I answer your question?
Yeah. Well, yes, you did in a sense. You know, how do you think that's helped you moving forward in your business and as your career? So what I got from you is that it's really helped you stay focused and understand you need to really rely and listen to your intuition.
Yeah, we all have our inner compass, and it's up to us to pay attention to that, because one wrong decision, of course, we'll make mistakes along the way and we learn from them. But yeah, so I'm all for listening to that little voice within us.
Me too. Thank you. Dr. Shelia?
And I'll just say, now that is a hard question. That's a huge question, as a matter of fact. It's really, especially it looks like most of us are not 20. So, there are a lot of life experiences that are behind us.
Right.
That being said, I'll answer a couple of them. I'll be like Virginia. I don't quite know if I'm going to answer your question, but
right, yeah.
And then if I don't, just please throw in another part of it, because that was like 4 questions in one.
Yeah.
But what has shaped my life, I think, and I'll go back to something one of the ladies said. First is from childhood, because of, of course, that shapes who we actually wind up becoming. And my parents instilled, number one, the fact that if you are able to do more, you should do more. And also instilled that you should be self-sufficient. And I think those two things, and they've carried the do more is excellent. The be self-sufficient has carried me in many directions throughout my life. Sometimes good and sometimes not, because
Right.
being self-sufficient
Yeah.
can sometimes close off help, opportunities, etc. But it is what it is. So as I have grown, I think what I have learned is number one, that people are out there, mentors are out there. I mentor people now because I didn't really have mentors. And back in the day, mentorship was not really a big thing anyway.
Right.
But yeah, that's something that's a little bit newer. But the importance of mentorship, the importance of actually taking the time to enjoy life. The middle part of my life, when I was raising my children, I have three, and with a husband, etc. That was my life, and I didn't take time out for enough time, because I took some time. Don't get me wrong, because I did, but enough time, I think, for me. So, and that's very common, because depending on the temperament of your children, some take more effort than others. It's just is what it is. But I think so now I'm on that side of the spectrum, thankfully, where I can take that time and I can almost do what I want to do. So in business, I have learned that everything doesn't have to be done yesterday. That I can find the balance in getting what I need to get done. It's not the end of the earth if it doesn't get done.
Right.
And also to take the time that I need for my sanity. So if that means I don't jump up in the morning ready to go, cool, because I don't do that anymore. I used to jump up hitting the ground running. Now I will wake up, turn over, maybe go back to sleep, turn on the television and let it watch me for a minute, pray for a couple minutes, think about whatever, so it's just totally different, I think. And I wish that's something that I knew it earlier, but I didn't practice it earlier. And I wish that I would have been able to do that.
Yeah, that's so important to really take your time. I love that you talked about joy again, because really having joy in your life, even while you're doing all the things, really makes a difference in your life, especially in being satisfied with your life.
Right.
And I think that's where we miss out on that. Would you agree, Dr. Shelia?
I would agree on that. And I also think that it helps you to recognize a little clearer your purpose. Everybody's searching on what is my purpose in being here.
Yeah.
Or, well, a lot of people, I can't generalize and say everybody, because some people I say that to and they're like, I don't care. But a lot of people do search for that purpose. And if you can find the purpose that you feel that you're on the earth for, and it can make you happy and fulfilled, and it cannot do that if you're rushing, stressing, and not happy.
Yeah.
I think that's the way to go. So that's part of my journey, and it's been a long one, but I'm coming to that nice point.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it.
Wait a minute, did that answer your question, Kimberly?
It did. So, and I love it, because you're talking about joy. So find joy always, and then mentorship. There's always somebody that's willing to mentorship you, even if it's just a couple of steps ahead of you. Seek those people, because they're there, they're willing, and you can, collapse time if they can help you get through some obstacles you wouldn't have to otherwise go through. So I absolutely love that.
I would like to add something to what Dr. Shelia was just sharing with us. So, having been raised in South America, I can remember till this day my dad always saying that the South will always have a way to teach the North how to live, and the North will teach the South about business and working and stuff like that. So, till this day, although I've been in this country for so many years, I'm still struggling with the culture here, in the sense that we put a lot of focus on work, and self-care comes second. And that's gradually shifting quite a bit, because now we see a lot of coaches out there who are talking about self-care, life coaches. And self-care is, it's so important, because if you're not taking care of yourself, then that has a ripple effect on everything else around you, your family, your relationships, your business, your career. So we have to find a balance.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll circle back around to that too. Dr. Nephetina, I'd love to hear your input on this.
Yeah, so I hear an echo. I'm not really sure.
I'm not. Maybe adjust your volume. Try that.
Yeah, try. It's like I get in back feed. But if you could just restate your question, I want to make sure that I touch on it at least.
Absolutely. What I was asking is, knowing what you've gone through in your background, how would you say that's helped you in pursuing your career and where you're at today?
So with me, for my background, my upbringing was one where it taught me to be resilient, right? I learned how to make things happen. When you didn't have it, you improvised. And it wasn't an option to give up.
Yeah.
So for me, making sure that you stay focused on what your dreams, your hopes, your desires were, that was really important in my home. In my upbringing, if we were poor, I didn't know it. It wasn't until I got older and we were talking, having conversation. I was in the Pocono Mountains, and I remember having a conversation, and the ladies around the table were talking about types of foods that they ate when they were home and things of that nature. And I was thinking, like, wow, let me ask my mom if we were poor. Because if we were poor, she did a great job in making us feel like we had everything that we needed. And so I believe, in learning that, it taught me how to never give up. I was never one to give up. Giving up was not an option. I always wanted to persevere through. And I wasn't one of those girls that, had a lot of friends. I knew people, just kind of like today, right? I can count, those that are in your inner circle. But on the outside, I know that, a lot of times I did things alone. I was a very unique young lady, to say the least. I was an arts major. I loved dance and theater and arts. But at the same time, I was very much an intellectual, because I was that young girl that everyone, the adults, would go to. They just like talking to me. So being a counselor was, I believe it was my born innate ability to do so. Like, I know this was part of my purpose. This was part of who I am. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I believe that part of my life really helped to steer me and direct me into the places that I need to own as an adult, and begin to walk in that. So, yeah.
So true too. And I love one that you said, you talked about resiliency, because we don't even realize how resilient we are until we're looking in the rear view mirror and going, oh my God, I made it through that.
Yeah.
It's when we're looking forward or we're in the midst of it, we have no idea that we're actually doing a really good job. We're surviving, we're thriving afterwards, And so I love that you mentioned resiliency. I want to go back to really quick though, when you're talking about not only being resilient and that you were a unique young lady, but it's really about stepping into who you are, because I know your story and it was really something that took a minute for you to really embrace that. And I think that has helped you in your career as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I was, my name being Nephetina in itself, right? Very close to Nefertiti and Nefertiti. And so just having that name automatically made me stand out. So God had a sense of humor, right? And I had to learn that my uniqueness and my difference was a part of who I am. I had to learn how to walk in that freely. Because when people don't get you, as long as you know who you are and you can stand in that and you can, you're able to convey that to the world, that's all that matters. We're all uniquely made. And, there's no one DNA that is exactly identical to the other, even in identical twins. So I know, because my husband has a set of twin sisters that are identical. And with that being said, being able to stand in your authentic self, being your authentic self, be satisfied with the man or the woman in the mirror, not make excuses for who you are, and show up for you. That's what's really important. And I had to learn that because, my story, I was bullied as a young girl. I went through a lot of life situations, trials, and circumstances. And like I said, with my name being how it was, teachers would misspell it. I got laughed at a lot. I didn't like my name. Honestly, I wanted my name. I said, when I get older, I'm changing my name. And I already had a name picked out, and it was going to be Christina.
No. No.
I wanted to be Christina, okay? And, but when I got older, after meeting the love of my life, he called me by my full name. And my dad always called me by my full name, Nephetina. And I began to embrace that. And when I learned what it meant, that it meant love, it was like, God knew exactly why he made me that. And being a queen, and she wasn't just any kind of queen. Nefertiti was a fierce queen, okay? So I was born to be a fierce person in this world. Now I had to begin to stand up and receive that for myself. And when I did, life took on a whole new meaning.
It's such a special name.
Thank you. Yes, it is.
It's so many meanings. You have to live up to that name. And you are.
And she is.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you didn't change it.
Yeah. It's interesting, but I embrace my name. I embrace who I am. I know who I am today, and I stand in that. I live through that every single day, and I help to encourage and inspire others to do the same. I think it's very important to know who you are, have a direction, and go in it. Like Virginia said, you must continue to move forward. Don't become complacent. Don't give up in the fight. The fight, remember this, the fight is fixed. And in the end, you win. So if you can keep the end in mind while you're going through that trial, that tribulation, or that circumstance, when you can keep the end in mind and know that you win no matter what, it will give you the strength to persevere and be resilient and plow on through all of that to your victory.
Yeah.
Amen.
Really embracing, and let's talk about this a little more, because I'd like Virginia and Dr. Shelia to jump in there too on that. What is it for you that was something that you really needed to embrace?
I needed to embrace that my difference was my strength.
Yeah.
right? I was a little punky Brewster. I was that girl that wore the leggings. I was Cyndi Lauper all the way, honey.
I love it.
I was the penny loafers and the legging wearing young lady. For my culture, you stood out being like that, and then I got teased about how I talk. You're too proper, and they thought I was trying to be someone else. Even today, adults, yes, adults, still mention, how I speak, how I pronounce things of that nature. But I'm a writer, I'm a creator, I'm a visionary, and I'm all of those things. And so, with that being said, I speak how I speak, I walk how I walk, and that is what it is. And so, I realized that it's okay. I was never created to fit in. I was always created to stand out.
Love
There
it.
you go. Yeah.
Amen. Dr. Sheila, Virginia, would you like to jump in and say something about what you've embraced?
I've embraced my purpose. And not having embraced my purpose would have stopped me from helping as many women as I have helped since that day. And at the end of the day, nobody's going to give you an award for living somebody else's life. You have to embrace your purpose and live your own life, not that of somebody else's. And when my clients tell me, Virginia, you saved my life, you made a difference in my life, you changed my life, that is huge. So I'm going to continue helping women and those who come to me who seek my help the best way I can, because I know it's changing hearts and I know it's making a difference. And yeah.
I love that. That's awesome.
Um,
Dr. Sheila.
yeah, I had to embrace who I am because I am I guess, extrovert introvert. I like to be by myself. But I also like to be around people to an extent. So I struggled with that for a while, actually, because I always was like, I need to be more social. I need to do more, whatever. But I don't want to do it at the time, or I don't quite fit into do it, if that even makes sense. Because I'm the girl that if you say something that's not right, I'm telling you. I'm the girl that you say something crazy, I'm like, oh no. So you really can't. So I'm not one of those. Okay, yeah, I agree. So we can be friends. I agree. No. I'm the one that says if you say something crazy to me, I'm like, you shouldn't have said that. That's not right. Keep it up. I'll cut you off. It's okay. Period.
Tough little cookie.
So for me, I had to embrace that, because it's kind of cold, What's wrong with me? Because really, I would do that. I really would. Well, okay, we're done. That's okay. Don't come back. And I'm fine because, I don't need negativity. So, okay. So, yeah, I think that's something that it really took me a long time, though, because I've always kind of been like that. My friends was like, we can't tell you anything that's just not the truth because you're so straight. I'm like, I know. But that's me. And okay. So it took me a minute to even say, that's me, okay, instead of, I know, I wonder what's wrong with me.
Oh, that's it.
I
on the nose too, because it's about really shifting that perspective that there's nothing wrong with us.
No.
There's nothing wrong with us.
no.
It's really embracing who we are.
Yeah.
Owning that power. Yes, I love that. Virginia, what were you going to say?
So I wanted to add something kind of funny, but so one of the things since the pandemic that I've started embracing was speaking my truth and showing up at podcasts. So I'm starting to love podcasts because here's the thing: the pandemic kind of forced me to speak out more and to get out of myself. Because just like Dr. Sheila was saying, I too was a little bit of an introvert, and that has been changing. I've made an effort to change that because like when we go on Zoom meetings, here's the other thing that's encouraging and forcing me to embrace more speaking out. When you go on Zoom meetings, there's that little button that's called the mute button. So you can't talk. So when we go like this, the four of us are talking now, there's no mute button. So I can just talk and talk and talk. So I'm embracing podcasts. I'm embracing talking and more out in public. So yes, so that's one of the things that I'm embracing more of, and I'm not embracing the mute button.
That's, it's about really seeing opportunity, and I think that's where it's at. Is it's seeing opportunity where and giving yourself the permission really to do the things, to be out there. And for me, I was nodding my head yes to Dr. Sheila. I'm both too, but what it is for me is I walk that line. It's about balance. You do the events and then you go, hermit crab it for a while. It's about being in that balance. And I think that's such a key thing that goes to the resilience part. It goes to being able to tap in and listen into your intuition. And it goes into really being able to have that joy. Really, all those things that all three of you said, when you're able to have that balance, then you can have that. That's really, again, it's stepping into your power. It always goes back to you're taking it back and owning it.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that. Yeah. Were you going to, Dr. Nephetina, were you going to say something, love?
I was just thinking that earlier when Virginia was speaking, and you were saying how you love helping people. And I realized recently, because I got nominated for an award, and I won't know until later whether I won. But with that being said, it helped me to reflect, like, wow, in your 5+ decades, you have really done a lot for a lot of women. I literally have been mentoring since elementary school. And I went on from there. Just reading to pre-K students and then to mentally challenged students. And then in junior high school, I became a pen pal to girls in Cambodia from the naval base. And then from there, I grew up and I wound up becoming a big sister with big brothers, big sisters. And I realized, wow, I literally have been working this work and walking this walk for a very long time. But sometimes because it's a part of who you are, you forget the impact that you've made, what you've given, what you've already done. And I'm like, wow, you should celebrate you. You should, recall those things from time to time and realize that you really have showed up and you really helped a lot of people. And when Virginia was speaking, I was just thinking, you have such a presence about you. You have such a sweetness about you that I can see how people would want to talk to you because you just have such a sweet spirit. And I just wanted to say that.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's all about helping each other, helping others. And we dismiss all the things that we've ever done. If you think about it, I have a whole activity that I walk people through. Like, let's count all the things you've done. And if you just count even when we started, like I started babysitting at 9 back in the day. How many kids did I influence? You never know, like all of those lives were all intertwined and it's magic. It's just magic.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. Right? So good. I want to start really quick. I want to just kind of go through each one of you and make sure we get some your information out there right now. So I have, let's see, Dr. Shelia, you're on my top list here. So we're going to start with you. So we have the pelvic deep. This is your Gmail. This is how to, is that the, nope, this one. Nope, that's your.
So that's the website. Let's lift up public.
I love it.
Yes, so that's the website. So you can go to that website for just information on what I do, of course. And also, I think there's actually a link on that one so you can get the second book, which is, here's the things right here. So that is the Stop Worrying About Your Bladder Leak, because you know that's my goal. To stop worrying about bladder leak. So you can get the second book from that one, the digital version, for free.
That's awesome.
Then I think you have the link to get the first book. Also, I think I gave you that.
That is.
There you go. See, so here we are. Look. You're still not peeing, okay?
Or not to pee.
Not peeing. That's right. So stop the pee situation. So this is the first book. So you can get information if that is your issue, or if you're worried about that issue, you know a loved one who has that issue.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and get that and get information, or you can get help, coaching help if you wish. Either one, I am available for whatever you need, or even ask a question, because as you can see, I like to talk about, that's my topic.
That's I love it.
That's my topic.
And this is your email, though, that people can reach out to you.
Yes, the pelvicdpt@gmail.com.
Okay, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That is awesome. And then let's see, Virginia, I have you up next. Now you have two websites people can reach out to you and find more information about. Share a little bit more about what they can get on each site.
Okay, so here's the thing with VirginiaEarl.com. It's not complete yet, but I am available through a text or call at 951-551-4566. And Seven Mystic Rings is, sevenmysticrings.com. You can schedule an appointment with me through there. I'm also, for going back to Translations Unlimited South America, or Virginia Earl. I'm on Facebook, so you can schedule an appointment with me through there, or through Google if you Google my website, virginiaearl.com. So it'll still show up, and you are able to schedule an appointment through me for a discovery call if you want to talk about your book, or for Seven Mystic Rings for a spiritual session. And right now, I don't have any specials going on or anything, but yeah.
Well, they get a free discovery call with you, so they
can the free discovery call,
that's
for virginiaearl.com. But I do better. My email inbox is currently full, so I do better with text or with a phone call.
There you go. I love it. Dr. Nephetina?
Sure. Well, I try to keep it very simple. So you can go to www.marriageceos360.com. That will open you up to my whole world of social media, which leads you to all of our website addresses. One being covenantrescue911.com. And the other one is actually help@covenantrescue911.com. But if you go there, you can reach in. Of course, we have the crisis number. It is 855-737-2911, or you can just dial 855-RESC911.
I love it. And, there's so many ways that people can find all of you as well. You're on Facebook, you're out there. People can find you if you missed this. You can always catch it on a replay. I'm going to just go ahead and share some things going on with me. You can always find anything I have going on at KimberlyAcoaching.com. You can also go to Aphrodite Enterprises Inc. on Facebook, where you can also replay this show. And then, of course, we have the Unleash Your Inner Goddess Women's Wellness Retreat coming up in Big Bear, California, October 29th through September 29th through October 3rd. And I would love to see you all there. So let's take a little break and go see our sponsor for the moment, and then we will be right back.
Hello, goddesses. Welcome to a real bodies period experience. We're here to help you lose inches and fat cells permanently through my magic wand. In addition is our Sea of Youth supplements, which help with chronic pain and illnesses by reducing inflammation. We strive to help you achieve beauty from the inside out.
Love it. Love it. So we were talking for a minute about self-care and self-love. So I'd love to go around and ask you guys, what is it, your top 3 maybe even, self-care things that you do for yourself? Because again, it is so absolutely important for us as women, for us in our business, for us in our personal life. So you can all jump out, whoever wants to go first. I won't call names.
Well, as one that built legacy, I really believe in meditation. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is just your quiet time with God, taking that moment to just hear, to listen, and wait to get a response. Because sometimes we're so quick asking, that we don't take the time to really listen and hear what the Lord is saying to us, giving us that guidance and that leading every day. And my second number one best thing is I love going on long drives, like 2-hour drives to the Pocono Mountains or to the shore. We have the pleasure in being in Philadelphia, city of brotherly love and sisterly affection. the great pleasure of being near the Jersey Shore, but also near the Pennsylvania mountains. And so I love that, and my next thing is spending time with my husband. I love spending time with him. He is my bestie, and we do a lot of talking in the car. So those long rides, we make sure we take advantage of that. And it's just really important. And exercise is always wonderful. I love walking along the water.
Love it. Love it. Thank you. Yeah. And, I heard this thing. Prayer is asking. Meditation is getting the answers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because we're too busy asking, we don't wait to hear. So meditation is absolutely key to hearing that. Mm-hmm. What's next? Dr. Shelia or Virginia, would you like to go next?
Sure. So I do a lot of gardening. So Home Depot loves me. Because that's kind of like when I do my meditation. I also like to travel. I like to take short trips and long trips. I go out for walks to surround myself with nature. And I like to listen to music and read. Read is also an escape for me. And I love massages. Yeah, I love massages. And to re-stress, I go to the gym. And today I met someone who offers archery lessons, so I might start doing that. Yeah.
We love that.
Yeah.
And you know what I love about what you said is that you're trying something new. What an amazing thing to do for yourself.
Yeah.
Trying something new. Love it.
Yeah, I asked him a quirky question. Is that can archery be seen as the equivalent of throwing dishes, against a wall? And he said yes, but some people actually go to that. It's just they're using an arrow, bow and arrow. Yeah. But yeah, it helps you focus in and tune everything else around. You're just doing it with a bow and arrow, not with dishes.
Mm-hmm. I love it. Yes, Dr. Shelia.
So mine almost mirrors Virginia's, and I have taken archery. Archery it's a lot of fun. Yeah, I try any and everything. So,
That's awesome.
and I try a lot of things when my kids were younger too. I tried anything that they did, I did. So I did karate when they did karate. I did tennis when they. I mean, I just did everything. But
Oh, look at you.
yeah, 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 I do that. But I actually also do regular massages. I like being with nature and being around water.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I actually we have a place by water at the Jersey Shore, as a matter of fact. So I go every opportunity I get, almost year round. Like maybe not December through March because it's freezing cold. But you can just go. You can. I believe actually the looking at the water is extremely calming.
Yes.
Extremely. So I do that every opportunity that I get. You were talking about gardening. I used to do gardening in the ground, and I started now doing hydroponic gardening, gardening in water.
Oh,
So I grow, lettuce, spinach, kale, strawberries, whatever, in water. So I do that so that, you go out and, look at your plants, touch them, talk to them, et cetera, et cetera.
right.
And, and then of course I have plants in the house too. So which are my other children. So yeah, I do that. I don't exercise as much as I did. I used to teach exercise at the gym for probably about 20 years. I was an avid cycler, indoor cycler at the gym. I taught those classes, kickboxing, etc. So my body's resting. Now I walk, I do yoga, I do things like that to kind of dial down, that, even though I miss it because my body, I think, misses it and mentally. Physically, I do it, and it's like, what's up?
How does that hurt?
You can't do this and expect to walk the next day. So,
Right.
yeah. So that's kind of what my de-stressors are.
I love that. And I love the variety. It's so important. It's so important for people to really know how important it is to have self-care. For me, I love yoga. I love exercising. If I have the opportunity, I would be on a horse or on my Harley. I absolutely think doing something for yourself is amazing. A bath, a glass of wine. Yes.
Yeah.
Whatever it helps you to go back to you, that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
And I love archery. My kids were in archery. I just, my nephews are in hockey. They love it. It's something that brings them joy. Going back to joy, absolutely important. Let's real quick go back around. And then while we're doing this, I'm going to have you ladies share a piece of advice, either personally, professionally, or both. And let's start with Nephetina because you also added your help at covenantrescue911.com. So I wanted to make sure to get that on there for you too. So share with us, and I'm just going to keep popping up your information for people to reach out to you, but share with us a piece of advice.
My advice in this season is to recognize that we have to show up for ourselves. We as leaders pour out so much to others all the time, but are you showing up for you? Are you doing what the ladies have talked about, self-care? Are you making sure that you are replenishing, refilling, and allowing yourself to be revived? It's very important that you practice that self-care, and it is nothing like making sure that at the end of the day, when you've shown up for everyone else, make sure that you're showing up for you.
Yeah.
Yes. I love it. Virginia, do you want to go next? I have your stuff.
Balance. It's important to have balance. And it's important to come from a place of, especially nowadays with everything that's been going on in the last 2 years, to come from a place of love, compassion, forgiveness, and gratitude. Make it a daily practice to write down 3 goals and 10 things that you're grateful for, and be grateful for today. And whatever it doesn't work out today, smile, turn the page over, and there's always tomorrow.
Amen to that. I love it, Virginia. Thank you. Dr. Shelia.
My advice would be to dream and to keep dreaming and to keep striving for, not to the extent that it makes you unhappy, but striving for whatever fulfills you, that you don't keep waiting to do it. Time is our friend, and it can be your enemy too.
Yes.
So if there is something that you are passionate about, or that you're thinking of, or even that you think that you cannot do, try.
Right.
Dream big.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I'll just put on real quick again, KimberlyACoaching.com, to find out what I've got going on. Again, the Wellness Retreat, Unleash Your Inner Goddess Wellness Retreat in Big Bear, California. For me, for self-care, I'm just going to add in too, I love the mountains and the ocean. At one time when I really am just bogged down, I head to the ocean and I'm making sand angels in the snow, like just bury me in there, clothes and all. I'm not even in a swimsuit. I'm just like, I need to connect to the earth. And it's amazing to just allow yourself to do those things. If you miss this, you want to catch any of these incredibly brilliant women, hear them again, you can go to Aphrodite Enterprises Inc. and watch the replay, because it will play there again and it'll sit there forever, and you can watch it and get their amazing information, hear their incredible stories. The book will be launching soon, and you get to really hear about where they've come, what they've done in their life. Thank you, ladies. You are absolutely brilliant.
Thank you.
Enjoyed this
so much.
conversation.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. It's been amazing. Bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.